My name is Robert Pine. I'm director of the Norman Miller Center for Peace, Justice, and Public Understanding here at the college, and want to welcome you to the campus and to the Norman and Lewis Miller Lecture in Public Understanding. I want to thank you all for being here. Especially want to acknowledge and thank Shirley Miller and the Miller Family Foundation for making this possible. I want to thank President Tom Kunkel, the president of our campus, and then I think Father Jay is back here somewhere, and I want to thank him as well. Very glad to have a wonderful group of volunteer readers for our program tonight. You know, this lecture series, the Norman and Lewis Miller Lecture, was set up to promote unity, communication, and tolerance, essentially public understanding between different cultures, religions, ethnicities, and traditions. Tonight's program takes us back really to the core, to the roots of this lecture series in talking about the dialogue, the relationship between Catholics and Jews. It is marking the 50th anniversary of Nostra Aetate, the document from Vatican II, which speaks to the Church's response to other religions. And so we tonight have a program in two parts. The first part will be a reading of portions of a play called Imagining Heschel by Colin Greer. You'll see in your program a short bio with Colin Greer. He was supposed to be with us tonight, but unfortunately he has come down with some difficulty with asthma and was not able to travel from New York today. And so we are going to greet him briefly by Skype after the reading of the play. After that reading, after our wonderful volunteer readers have exited the stage, we will be joined up here by Dr. Robert Kramer from our history department, our professor of Middle East history, and by Father John Pawlikowski. I'll give a longer introduction to both of those guests after, but you should know that Father Pawlikowski is perhaps the number one person you could bring to address from a Catholic perspective the relationship between Catholicism and other religions. He's a two-term president of the International Council of Christians and Jews and has had extensive work in interfaith understanding for over 4 decades. And in fact, I'll just say for those of you who've been around this campus a little while, you'll recognize the contribution he's made to us as he, at one time in his career, has taught both Paul Waddell and Father Jack McCarthy. So you can say he's been around this game for a while. We've had him on campus all day today and had just a wonderful time. I really enjoyed having him in class this morning as we listened to the Pope. So I also want to acknowledge, and I know she's already left, but Bethany Tier for her music that she gave us beforehand. And again, our program begins with this reading of Imagining Heschel. Now, this is recognizing the historical moment, the historical contribution of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel to the conversations at Vatican II around Catholicism and other religions. It's titled Imagining Heschel, recognizing that the dialogue we're about to hear is largely the construction of the playwright Colin Greer. These are not, for the most part, historical quotations, although there are a few of those sprinkled in. And we have, you'll see in the program, some terrific readers prepared to take those different parts. And I will now simply hand it over to them and let us go back 50 years in time to a conversation that was happening beginning in New York City.
Imagining Heschel, In Search of Man, a play by Colin Greer. There is no way that each year in a man's life can be included in telling his story. Nor can all the people who have helped shape a lifetime be included. What can be done is to be faithful in spirit to the record and to try to find one's way to the heart of the man. The play takes place between 1963 and 1970, as if in a moment. Act 1, Scene 1. In the last days of winter, spring is in the air. Heschel has a cold, so he coughs a little. Heschel arrives at his early morning class a little breathless. He shuffles some papers.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Today I want to talk to you about a missionary's diary I have been reading. They said to him, "Don't go to the shanties, you will find only whores and sun-baked poverty." He went anyway, and 10 years later reported back, "Poverty persists, hard as clay, but I have not yet met a whore." There's no other, my friends. The other is a fragment of our imagination. Yes, I know this is a reflection of a Christian brother serving a Christian mission. But he need not be merely Christian brother to you any more than the women around him in Bangladesh were whores. Let me tell you a personal story that may help you find the freedom to open yourselves to this man's great humanity, to find a little bit more of yourselves than you are used to. Each morning, I go down in the elevator and sometimes stop at the 3rd floor. The door opens, the man gets on, who I see only on the odd morning when we stop at the 3rd floor. And he says to me, "Good morning, Alan." Now you well know that my name is not Alan. This started about 4 years ago. Perhaps that is when he moved in. I don't know. But anyway, he says, "Good morning, Alan." By now I actually look forward to him and to being called Alan. Why? Because I feel a certain freedom when he calls me Alan. For a few seconds, I am free of the identity I carry with me as Abraham. I am not Alan, but I feel like Alan is right for me when he acknowledges me in that way. I do not feel mistaken or misidentified. I feel, rather, reminded of how I might be more or different from whom I have become. I am reminded that who I am is open to discovery as well as recognition. Yes, Rabbi Abraham Heschel can be Alan for a moment. Jewish seminarians can be Christian for a moment.
He holds up a book, which we see is God's search for man.
Read the next 2 chapters, think carefully, feel deeply, and let God find you.
Act 1, Scene 2. Heschel is in his apartment the next day. Cardinal Bea arrives at the door.
It is good to meet you. Put a voice to a face.
It is my pleasure. I'm very glad to shake your hand.
Welcome, Cardinal. May I offer you some tea?
I would like that very much.
Heschel pours tea for Bea.
You are a wonderful teacher.
I said only welcome, Cardinal. What did you learn from that?
I was in your class yesterday. I took the liberty to slip in. I sat in the back. I hope you don't mind.
You had nothing better to do? You were in the back with those reading magazines?
As I said, it was a wonderful experience. And this is very good tea. It has white wine.
Yes, and lemon. It's a kosher sweet wine, and in tea it tastes good.
It is very good. comforting.
My grandmother's Sabat recipe. I like it so much. I use it for socializing too. Please drink up, there's plenty more.
I will take some more, please.
Heschel pours him more tea.
I'm surprised you have nothing like this in the Vatican. In Italy, how could that be?
It's simple because we have coffee. I drink coffee. Not like the coffee you drink here in America. If it was like that, I'm sure we would be drinking tea.
You know that many of my colleagues would agree with the students in the back of the class. They call me a poet and a pop moralist, naive and perhaps a danger to myself and others.
The Pope and I carry your word close to our hearts, Rabbi Heschel.
I will still go to Selma first, you know that.
I know you will. I received a call last night after I spoke to you. The Pope is not well at all. He urges that we come soon. His poor health encourages the resistance of some of the cardinals.
So, first you called to talk, and now there's a rush. Centuries of abuse, and now there's a rush.
Please. Abraham, may I call you Abraham?
Abraham is fine. Or you can just call me Heschel, as does my wife.
I am deeply sorry for the past. But now we have a chance to change it. Come as soon as you can. After Selma.
We hear a piano begin to play Chopin.
Listen, that is my Sylvia showing her student how to play. It's so beautiful. She calms me, Dad. At home, with my Sylvia and my little Susie, I can relax.
Like King Saul, the music soothes your soul.
You see Saul in me, Dad?
I do. I do. And I trust King Saul will stay here in New York when you come to Rome. If indeed you come to Rome.
So you are a teacher yourself, Cardinal?
I am. I teach at the Biblical Institute in the Vatican for many years now.
You've taught a pope and a few cardinals, perhaps?
I have.
I wonder, did you teach a pope or a few cardinals who decided to ignore the Holocaust?
I wish I had been a better teacher, more than I can say.
But advising popes, you still like to do that?
Advising this Pope, advising Pope John, I like very much. With him, we have a chance for the Church to prevent future Holocausts.
What kind of work are you advising him about these days?
You are our work at the moment.
Well, you are a flatterer, Cardinal.
Heschel, listen to me. Hitler rose to power and to maniacal tyranny because for so long the Church has taught and millions believed that Jews killed Christ. That was never true. It's a stupid, ugly prejudice. It should have been long ago rejected. It must be reversed, just as you said in your class about Hosea. We share the same God. Pope John and I recognize that.
So, reverse it. What do you need from me?
I am an aging man with a very heavy heart, but I have been blessed with a chance to redeem myself and my church. Your participation and belief in our commitment will vouch for our sincerity and good faith in striving to repent and reverse the sad history between us.
not so old.
Definitely not as fit as I once was. I must tell you, Heschel, your work has been a friendly shoulder for me. You speak of a man from the point of view of God. It is a radical idea to allow our identity to unravel into the universe.
Profound and poetic.
We need you in Rome.
You know, Bea, I traveled very little.
I beg you to consider carefully before saying no.
Am I to come to Rome to forgive the church? I'm not the man for that. And such an alien Jew the Pope invites to Rome. Make no mistake, this is quite a journey you are asking me to take. I risk by coming to Rome. Some people will call me naive, laugh at me. Others will most certainly revile me. Already I have upset people. Some Jews in the South tell me I put them to risk if I join Dr. King. If I come back empty-handed, they will most certainly attack, even revile me.
This is my life's work, Heschel.
If you fail there, what price do you pay? Will you leave the church? Will you deny your people?
This is not fair.
Not fair. Your Vatican is a nation among nations, the first nation to recognize Hitler's right and among the last to recognize Israel. I take a risk. What risk do you take? Would you?
I don't know.
You don't know. You want me to risk my relationship here, and you don't know.
I'm sorry. I didn't come here to fight with you. I'm sorry. The truth is I don't know. I can't answer your question. Will you come to Rome?
Give me time. Just a few years ago, just 20 years ago, we learned that the world still has an appetite for Jewish blood. Bea, I already said I cannot be invited to forgive the church for its past. Are we talking about apology? Talking about changing the very language of Christian belief? Will the followers of Jesus no longer call the Jews non-believers to be converted at all costs?
I am quite sure the Pope means apology. So will you come?
After Selma.
Of course. Tell me, how many times did Dr. King ask you to join him, Heschel, before you agreed to go to Selma?
You want to know? Do I keep the Pope waiting longer?
The Pope is trying to shift the ground we live on, just as surely as Dr. King is.
Act 1, Scene 3. The audience sees a photo montage of moments from the Civil Rights Movement, including the Selma March. After the march, a few weeks pass. Heschel emerges from his building to go to the airport to catch the late morning flight to Rome. It's a good day for flying. Jonah, his driver, is waiting and writing.
What airline, Rabbi?
I'm sorry, I've kept you waiting.
It's nothing, Rabbi. My father told me to arrive early. That's what I do. It's my father's business. He told me to arrive early. And I do as he tells me when I'm on the job.
You were writing. What were you writing?
A poem is nothing.
You are a poet.
Just writing a poem, Rabbi. I wouldn't say I'm a poet.
So it's okay if I kept you waiting, if poems come from it.
You didn't say which airline.
You don't like waiting, Joe.
Like I said, I do what my father tells me to do when I'm on the job.
I see. But at other times you're not so patient. I am sorry, I'm a nosy old man. You remember, Jonah, I've known you since you were a little boy. So do you mind if I ask you questions?
Of course I remember. I'm not stupid, Rabbi Heschel.
Of course not. So I see you are quite upset with me for keeping you waiting. And maybe with your father because he expects you to sit here waiting for me. I think you are not as patient as your father.
Definitely not. Patience is a Negro problem. They don't have any more time for it. Did you see the paper this morning? Here, look. Negro suspect killed by police officers. Turns out it was a mistake. The brother was waiting for the bus on Broadway. Cops think he's someone else. He never was a suspect. Not really. You're Jewish, Mr. Heschel. Didn't you all get gas over there in Germany because you were all so patient?
Well, I never thought that it had to do with too much patience.
The very first commandment I ever learned from my father, he told me, no matter what, stay out of trouble. Just head down and move on. It didn't work so well for my brother. They turned him into a bloody mess. He got beaten up all the time. We were small and the white kids bullied us real bad. Some teachers were kind, most were not. One day things got so bad. A badass kid grabbed me in the playground. I was terrified. I could see my face laying in the gutter like squashed orange. Then I caught him off guard. I said, I don't know who you think you're messing with. I asked him, you have no idea who you're messing with. My family was slaves and we had grow up so fucking tough. We had to grow up so fucking tough. And I asked the kid to punch me right here in my shoulder. And I told him I wouldn't wince, I wouldn't cry about it. And he did, and I didn't. After that, I could not even say the word shoulder. Just couldn't say it. Words got jumbled up and came out soldier. Took years for me to say the word shoulder and not soldier. Kids never bothered me after that. Why are you crying?
I cry for a little boy who invites his shoulder to be pounded to protect himself from a bully. It must have hurt, pounding.
Forget it. We're almost at Idlewild.
When I get back from Rome, I would like to talk about this some more, Jonah.
Sure, if you like, if I'm here.
You're going somewhere?
I've enlisted. Depending on how long you're away, I may be gone.
You enlisted to fight?
He doesn't want me to be in the war.
But you want you in the war.
I want to learn to fight. I want my country to teach me to be the best fighter. I want to know guns and bombs. I want to fly planes and drive tanks. I want to be so trained and so fierce so when I get back, no one is going to expect me to be patient anymore. What airline am I?
I think, Jonah, maybe it was meant for us to be together like this today.
You mean like God made it happen?
You think that's not possible, Jonah? The rabbi and the angry young Negro? It's not impossible.
I don't really care about God, Rabbi. He's been white for way too long. If he's there at all, I'm just a slave and a sinner. I told you when I drove you up here, I'm ready to kill a few sinners. And until I get to do that, or until I get to see or feel like that, and feel that God is with me, what airline?
End of Act 1. Act 2, Scene 1. Heschel arrives in Rome in the early evening. Father Brian Martin greets Heschel at the airport and escorts him to a waiting car.
Cardinal Bea asked me to welcome you and bring you to dinner, if you're not too tired, Rabbi Heschel.
And who are you, young man?
I'm sorry. I'm Father Brian Martin. I'm a priest, and I'm Cardinal Bea's secretary. It's good to meet you, sir. And may I also say how very sorry I am about Dr. King, Rabbi.
He is a very great loss for the world and for me. But already he is not so popular. I just left New York, a young man who drives me at times, who may be angrier at Dr. King for being killed than he is at the killers. I think he believes he can search for answers with a gun the way a man with a stick searches for gold. So where will I see Bea? Is it far to go? For dinner, I mean.
Well, not far. It's a restaurant in the old Jewish quarter.
A kosher restaurant?
Ah, it is.
May I sit for 5 minutes before we go? Catch my breath after my journey.
If you're too tired from your trip, I'm certain the Cardinal will understand.
No, it's fine. Just a few minutes. How will I go?
I'll be driving you.
So you can tell me, Father Martin, how is the great Vatican Council proceeding?
It's an honest-to-goodness battle, it is, Rabbi. They're at war inside, and they do battle with each other night and day.
What do they fight about?
Well, mostly it's about Latin and the future of souls who do not come to church. They talk about Muslims, and not least, as you know, it's about Jews, about the Jewish people, and you know, the crucifixion of Christ.
Oh, and how will it come out, Father Martin? Will Cardinal Bea prevail over the force of darkness?
Oh, I don't think it's about light and dark, sir. Not like that at all, it is. I think it's mainly about power here in Rome. The most skillful will win in the end, and that's the truth. Sad to say. There are some who are eager for a new pope, and as I see it, both sides have people who believe they know the mind of God, and they find it much like their own.
Yeah, and of course you are on Cardinal Bea's side in all this.
I am the Cardinal Secretary, Rabbi. My opinion carries no weight here at all.
So you are on no side.
I am on the side of the church, and on the side of my own people, the people of Aaron, much like your own good self and the Jewish people. You'll have to excuse me, Rabbi Heschel. I'm sorry. As I said, my opinion is of no weight here. Let me take you to the Cardinal.
Act 2, Scene 2. Heschel arrives with Martin at a restaurant in Rome in the old Jewish quarter. Bea stands to greet Heschel as he enters. As Heschel and Martin arrive at the restaurant, Bea is talking to a boy who is about 12 years old.
It's okay, take your time.
I'll see you on Sunday, Sasha.
He comes to church on Sunday.
No, Sasha is Jewish. His parents own this restaurant. I come here on Sunday afternoons. They're my family in Italy. It's very good to see you here in Rome, my friend. You had no trouble finding it, I hope.
Father Martin was a fine navigator and a provocative guy.
A waiter brings a bottle of wine, pours for Bea to taste. Bea approves and indicates to the waiter to fill 2 glasses, which he does and leaves.
Will you drink with us, Brian?
Well, thank you very much, Your Excellency. I should be off now. Enjoy your meal, Rabbi Heschel. Please forgive the rudeness of my part.
Did Brian make his speech about the shallowness of our purpose and the sanctity of this historic Mother Church? Brian is Irish, very concerned that his people not be abandoned by a changing church. It leaves them feeling lost.
Does he think Jews murdered Christ?
No, he worries that the Pope is killing the church.
I see.
I doubt it, my friend.
This looks like a very good restaurant. Is it kosher?
It is, and it's very popular too.
Everything is kosher? Yes?
To our success here,
on in. How long have you been coming here?
I've been coming here since I was a boy.
So before the war.
Yes, as a boy I played on these streets. I have always had friends here.
Jewish friends.
Yes. My parents were friends with the couple who owned this very restaurant. We visited every summer. I myself grew up on the edge of the Jewish ghetto in Vienna.
Who owns the restaurant now?
The children of my parents' friends.
They survived.
Thank God they were hidden by neighbors.
Your neighbor?
Mine and theirs. We were close friends. We played on these streets together as if we were in paradise, no chaos, just fun and games.
Fun and games. The law. Before.
Yes, you know. No, you couldn't know. I want you to know. Back then, when I was a child, I thought I was Jewish and born into the wrong family. I loved my parents, but at the same time I felt Jewish.
How is it for a child to feel Jewish, Bea?
You must know that, surely.
I do, but to feel Jewish when you are not Jewish, this I do not know anything about. Tell me, please.
Abraham, I think it was because as a child I cried often. The smallest thing could make me cry.
Crying made you feel Jewish? This may not be the best way to endear yourself to a rabbi. Bea, we have shed a lot of tears over something.
You are jumping to conclusions.
You are cutting me off. You have cut me off.
And I do it again. There is no point in letting you go down a road that will take you away from me. Let's travel together, please.
Go ahead.
In my family, a boy learned not to cry. It's a part of growing up. I never saw my father or my uncles cry. My cousins stopped crying long before me.
So let me see if I get this right. You grew up, you stopped crying, and you became a Catholic priest, not a Jew.
You jumped to angry conclusions, Abraham. You do have some soul in you. You misunderstand.
Well then, so what happened? You became a priest. Were you abandoned by a great love in your adolescence? Was she Jewish? Were you heartbroken because you were not accepted? Did a Jewish girl break your heart?
No, Heschel, no.
Okay, so it wasn't a Jewish girl.
It was love, Abraham. You are right about that. It was a great, great love. Not a disappointed love. It was a love that filled me so full that I settled into it. The love of Jesus.
Is there something I should be thinking about before I meet the Pope?
It will be easy, I am sure. I don't expect any conflict. I have strong assurances.
But if you get what you don't expect, Bea, what then?
Then I will have been mistaken in you both. And then perhaps you will have a free afternoon and return home sooner. But I pray not. Now let's eat. Have you chosen? No, before you choose, let me recommend you start with the carciofi. These are artichokes like you've never dreamed of.
The food of my dreams, no less. I'm ready.
Act 2, Scene 3. They have eaten their meal.
You were right about the artichoke. Carciofi alla Judea.
Yes, carciofi alla Judea.
Jewish artichokes? I didn't know there were religious differences between artichokes.
It's about how it's prepared. This dish originated here in the Portico di Ottavia. And today it's a very popular dish all over Italy.
Oh, Bea, please tell me how come this Pope got so interested in Jews?
He's a good man, and he listens to his friends.
Like yourself.
Yes. And Father Lucifer, you know, the one they call the Jewish priest, he's a great favorite here.
A Jewish priest?
Lustiger was converted as a boy. He was hidden by Catholics in the war. When he was 14, he was so moved by Mass that he became Christian. But he insists he remains a Jew. What do you think of that?
It's a fee. Is that the kind of solution the Pope is looking for? Bea, you have to know that no Catholic priest, whether he calls himself Jewish or not, will be a shortcut to healing the wounds between the Church and my people. The Pope must announce his apology with a very loud voice. He must call on all priests to change the story they tell about Jews from their pulpits. And every Catholic congregation all over the world must hear that the crusade to convert us is over. He will do that, yes?
We will get the apology, Abraham, as I promised. I have been assured of it. But the Church will not change overnight. This will require great patience.
Patience. You didn't say come to Rome to be patient. You didn't say that there.
Heschel, please. We will take great strides here. The votes are counted, but still the seeds will take time to sprout.
But the mission to convert Jews, it's not time for that yet? You didn't warn me about that.
We are searching, Heschel. He believes that we, like your own people, are charged to bring light to humanity. In this way, we choose to make ourselves visible to God's search for man. My dear friend, I could get carried away with my mission. I did not mean to forget the deep river of mourning that I know runs in you.
Act 2, Scene 4. In the Vatican, Bea and Heschel are waiting in an anteroom off the papal chambers. It's late morning. They are sipping coffee and talking when they are interrupted by Father Martin.
Excuse me. I thought it best to bring you news directly of developments in the Curia overnight.
Is he taking you again?
No, Cardinal. The Pope is no worse and no better than he has been of late.
Perhaps it's a good time for me to take my leave.
No, please, Abraham. We have not finished our talk yet. Please wait.
Well, Brian, tell us.
The Pope has asked for the postponement of his next meeting with Rabbi Heschel. He has shown the rabbi's recent book on Israel, and he believes he needs to understand it better.
Uh-huh. We're going to talk about Israel now, Bea.
Martin, do you know who brought the book to the Pope?
It wasn't myself, Cardinal. I thought the rabbi's ideas about Israel should be recognized here.
Brian, why did you not talk to me about this?
Forgive me, Cardinal, but I was concerned that your devotion to this cause would lead you to delay the Pope's knowledge of the exception Rabbi Heschel allows in Israel with respect to war.
It is my cause, Father Martin. Jesus' cause.
That's exactly my point, Your Excellency. That
How is this not your cause, Brian? How is it that for all of us to correct a gross and devastating injustice?
it's not the only one, Cardinal. As you well know, my own people have been fighting against Protestant prejudice and barbarity for centuries. We too have struggled to be a free and respected people, but we are not. Yet we have been loyal to the Church. It has defined our identity. If the Church changes as you and His Holiness intend, I fear that very soon my people will not know the difference between themselves and the Protestants back home.
You would be a nation too, Father Martin.
That is a certain truth, Rabbi Heschel. Sure to God it is.
Where do you leave us now, Brian?
Yes, Your Excellency, but Cardinal, how can it be right to allow the Holocaust to become the only permanent justification for war?
Leave us, please. We will talk later. Abraham, sit, please. This is not what I expected.
You got what you didn't expect, Bea.
Brian was terribly and sadly misguided. Today he asked as a servant of a flag, not of the cross. But he is not entirely wrong, Abraham. I too read your book.
My God, Bea.
How can it be just to expect those displaced will simply go away quietly? Was it not rabbis like himself who sent observers to study the suitability of Palestine for their enterprise? And those observers reported back, and I quote, "The bride is beautiful, but she is married to another man."
For centuries, your popes have made choices to save the Vatican that have plunged the world into war, or have allowed it to stand by while blood flowed in country after country. Yet the Jewish national home puts my people a permanent justice for war, Bea?
Is it so far-fetched, Heschel? You do not call out for peace in the Middle East as you do in Vietnam. You have written that sacredness in time trumps attachment in battles over space, over land. How do you dare retreat from your own great vision?
No, Bea, how do I not? I told you this before. There are consequences that come with survival, and Israel is one of them.
Your friend, Dr. King, transcended centuries of killing.
He did, Bea. He did. I am Abraham Heschel, not Dr. King.
There must be another way.
6 million, Bea. Surely it is not a justification to kill, but it is a justification to stop dying.
Your own memories hold you hostage, Heschel.
And peace now is only a Jewish responsibility. A Jew is damned when he is a lamb, and damned when he is a tiger.
Abraham, listen to me.
No, Bea, you must listen to me. I came to America on a quota. I escaped by a hair, by a whisker. I cannot always be consistent. I don't have a unified theory of peace. Is the test of Jewish integrity to die willingly when the murderers come?
This is hard for me too, and profoundly disappointing. But we can still win here. You will see a swan can emerge from the ugly duckling.
And who is this ugly duckling, Bea? I fear you are waiting for the Jew to turn. There is no ugly duckling, Bea. We Jews insist on remaining Jews, and the Negro will remain black when he is free. There is no ugly duckling, Bea. Perhaps you yourself could be more caring, maybe a little less anti-Semitic.
You have drawn blood, Heschel. I hoped it would be easy. But I know we have made progress. I am sure the Pope will honor his agreement.
Do you know what it has been like sitting with your cardinals? Some not so friendly. I see them in my mind in those revolting pictures. You remember the German cardinals with Gestapo flanking them. Cardinals, not with crosses in their hands, not with blessings, but with the Nazi salute. Cardinals in their cassocks with Heil Hitler on their hands.
I know those pictures. Sadly, I do. We're fighting history, Abraham. That's our task.
I'm not such a good thinker on my knees, Bea.
We're going around in circles, Heschel, and I am sorry.
I am sorry too. I think I should go now. We'll talk another time.
Heschel exits. Bea picks up his Bible, stands, and speaks directly to the audience.
It's in Isaiah. The lion shall lie down with the lamb. But the question is, who will be the lamb? No one wants to be the lamb. Everyone is trying to be the lion. We roar at each other, and brothers raise their hands against brothers with no end to it. Oh God, I pray we may both learn the way of the Lamb. On your statement, O Lamb of God, that takes away the sins of the world, hear my prayer.
The audience sees a montage of the funeral of Pope John the 23rd and the smoke announcing the selection of the new pope. Act 2, Scene 5. Heschel is in Riverside Park. It's morning on a cool, late fall day. He is visiting his tree. He is in a meditational prayer. Father Martin enters.
I was told I would find you here.
Thank you for coming to find me here. You know, I did not expect I would see you again. And now, like Bea before you, you want me to come to Rome.
That's exactly why I'm here, Dr. Heschel.
It did not go well before.
The new pope has issued his formal teaching on the Jews.
Not exactly. The Pope's Nostra Aetate is about Christian and non-Christian peoples. Muslims are number one, Jews follow. To Muslims, the Pope says, he accepts mutual responsibility for the past and wishes to live in peace. The Jews, he says, yes, Jews did indeed kill Christ, but not all Jews, and so not all Jews are to be blamed.
I trust you noticed too that there's been no word about conflict between Christians and not a word about my people.
So why am I invited to Rome?
I have sad news, Rabbi Heschel.
Bea?
He died in his sleep a week ago. His heart. You're invited to speak at the consecration of the Bea Center for Judaic Studies in the Vatican. 'Tis a papal tribute to